My brothers and sisters, sometimes we think being single means we are incomplete, unloved, or left behind. But what if I told you that your singleness could actually be one of the greatest blessings from Allah? What if this very season of your life is not a punishment but protection, not a delay but preparation? You see, while the world makes you feel like you are missing out, Allah may actually be saving you from heartbreak, shaping you into someone stronger, and giving you the freedom to rise in ways you never imagined. Many people look at their lives and wonder why they are still single, why they have not found that one person who will hold their hand through life's journey, why their story does not look like the stories of others. And in those moments, they may feel sadness, frustration, or even despair. But let me remind you that nothing in your life is a mistake, nothing is by chance, and nothing is overlooked by the one who created you. If you are single today, then know that it is by the perfect wisdom of Allah. And it may very well be one of the greatest blessings that you have been granted. Often we measure blessings only by what we see others have. If someone is married, we assume they are blessed, and if someone is single, we assume they are missing something. Yet we forget that blessings come in different forms. Sometimes being single saves you from heartache that would have broken you. Sometimes it shields you from a marriage that could have destroyed your peace, your faith, your future. Sometimes being single allows you to focus on yourself, your growth, your connection with Allah, without the distractions and difficulties that can come when life is shared with someone who is not right for you. What you may think is a delay is in fact protection. What you may call loneliness is in fact space given to you to discover who you truly are and to strengthen your bond with your Creator. When you are single, you have a gift that many people who are married often long for, the gift of time, freedom, and focus. You can dedicate yourself to learning, to working on your character, to fulfilling dreams that might be harder to achieve when your responsibilities increase. You have the chance to serve your parents with full attention, to build your career, to give back to society, to explore opportunities that might have been restricted if you were tied down by commitments you were not ready for. And most importantly, you have the chance to immerse yourself in worship, to spend your nights in prayer, to recite Quran without distraction, to cry to Allah about your dreams, your fears, your hopes. In that solitude, you find clarity. In that quiet, you hear your own heart. In that stillness, you learn to rely completely on Allah. There are people who enter marriage thinking it will fix all their problems, only to discover that it brings new challenges they never imagined. There are people who feel pressured into marrying, only to spend years wishing they had remained patient. And there are people who rush into it because of the whispers of society, only to realize that society will never live with the consequences of their decisions. Remember, what others say does not determine your path. What people expect of you does not dictate your destiny. What matters is what Allah has written for you, and when the right person is meant to arrive in your life, they will arrive at the perfect time, not a moment earlier, not a moment later. Until then, trust in His wisdom, because He knows what you do not know, and He sees what you cannot see. Being single is not about being incomplete. It is not about being unwanted or unloved. It is about being in a stage of preparation. You are not waiting idly. You are being molded by Allah into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. Every moment you spend alone is a moment to build your patience, your resilience, your independence. It is a moment to refine your character, to heal from your past, to purify your intentions, to strengthen your faith. Allah may be keeping you single because He wants you to be completely devoted to Him, because He knows that only through solitude will you find your true purpose. Or perhaps He is preparing someone else for you, someone who is not ready yet, someone whose heart needs work before it can be entrusted with yours. When you look around, you may see couples and feel a pang of sadness. But do not compare your chapter to someone else's. You do not know the reality of what goes on behind closed doors. Many who look happy are struggling. Many who seem fulfilled are battling in silence. And many who smile together are carrying burdens that are heavier than you could imagine. Do not envy what you see, for every life has its own tests. Your test might be patience in singleness, while theirs may be endurance in hardship. Allah's plan for you is tailored perfectly to your soul, your strength, your destiny. Instead of asking, why am I still single? Ask, what is Allah allowing me to do with this time? Instead of worrying about when someone will come, focus on who you are becoming. Because the truth is, whether you marry tomorrow or years from now, your true success lies in your relationship with Allah. If you can stand strong with Him when you are alone, you will stand stronger with Him when you are with someone else. If you can learn to love yourself through His guidance now, you will love better when He blesses you with a partner. Never let society's pressure make you feel less. You're not defined by your marital status. You're defined by your faith, your character, your sincerity. You are not behind in life. You are exactly where Allah wants you to be. And if He wants you single today, it is because there is goodness in it for you. There is protection in it for you. There is mercy in it for you. Embrace it as a blessing, not a burden. Use it as a chance to rise, not a reason to fall into despair. Every moment you spend wishing for what others have is a moment you lose in appreciating what you already have. Gratitude is the key to unlocking more blessings. Thank Allah for your current state, even if it feels heavy. Thank Him for sparing you from what you do not know. Thank Him for the freedom you have, the opportunities before you, the chance to build yourself in ways that might not have been possible otherwise. And trust that when the time is right, He will send what is best for you in a way that surprises you, in a way that proves His love for you. Until then, keep praying. Keep working on yourself. Keep serving those around you. Keep smiling. Keep living. Keep dreaming. You are not incomplete. You are not forgotten. You are not unloved. You are exactly where you need to be. And if you look closely, you will realize that staying single for now is not a curse. It is a blessing from Allah. When you look deeply at life, you will realize that the most precious gifts often come wrapped in ways that people overlook. Being single is one of those gifts. It allows you to discover yourself without the noise of others' expectations. It grants you the ability to walk through your own journey with focus, to build your identity with clarity, and to learn lessons about life and faith without being tied to the constant demands of someone else's needs. It is not a void, it is a space filled with potential. A space Allah has given you to nurture and develop yourself in ways that only solitude can allow. Think of the Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him. He spent years alone, away from family, unjustly imprisoned, forgotten by those he helped. Yet those years shaped him into a man of wisdom, patience, and strength, ready to lead and to inspire. What seemed like isolation was in fact preparation. In your own journey, being single might be your preparation. Perhaps Allah is teaching you patience because you will need it in greater measure later. Perhaps He is teaching you resilience because life will test you with challenges that require a strong spirit. Perhaps He is teaching you to rely on Him alone because He wants you to taste the sweetness of His companionship before anyone else's. When you are single, you have the opportunity to learn that your worth is not tied to another human being. Your worth is tied to your Creator. Too many people enter relationships seeking validation, thinking that someone else's love will complete them. But the truth is, no one can complete you, only Allah can. If you do not love yourself through Him, if you do not value yourself through His guidance, if you do not see your worth in the mirror of His mercy, then no person's affection will ever fill the emptiness you carry. Being single is a chance to fix that, to root your self-worth in the right place, to discover that you are already whole because Allah made you whole. It is also a reminder that companionship is not limited to marriage. You can build strong bonds of friendship, family ties, community connections. You can surround yourself with people who uplift you, who remind you of Allah, who encourage you to grow. You are not alone simply because you are unmarried. You are part of an ummah, a community of believers. And sometimes the love and support of friends and family can carry you through seasons of singleness in ways that a spouse may not have been able to. There are moments and loneliness creeps in when you long for someone to share your life with, and those moments are natural. But in those moments, let your heart turn to the one who never leaves you. Talk to Allah as you would talk to your closest companion. Share with Him your joys, your sorrows, your secrets. Cry to Him when the weight of solitude feels heavy. Laugh in your du'as when you dream of what the future could hold. Make Him the center of your conversations, and you will find that loneliness transforms into closeness. The more you engage with Him, the less empty you feel, because the most powerful companionship you can ever have is with the one who created you. Look at the world today and you will see how many people rush into relationships, not because they are ready, but because they are afraid of being alone. And in that rush, they compromise, they lower their standards, they accept what is not healthy for them. But you, by being patient and trusting Allah, are protected from such haste. You are saved from heartbreak that could crush your spirit. You are spared from toxic connections that could damage your soul. That in itself is a blessing. Not every delay is a denial. Sometimes a delay is a shield, a mercy that you cannot yet appreciate. Use this period to build habits that will benefit you for life. Wake up before dawn and taste the sweetness of prayer in the stillness of the night. Read Quran daily and let its words heal you, inspire you, guide you, develop your skills, pursue your education, strengthen your health, invest in your passions, build yourself into someone who stands tall, not because of who is beside you, but because of the strength Allah has placed within you. Then if marriage comes, you enter it as a complete person, ready to give, ready to love sincerely, ready to contribute positively, rather than as someone hoping to be rescued from emptiness. It is also important to realize that life is not a race. You do not need to match anyone else's timeline. Some marry young, some marry late, and some may not marry at all. Each of these is a valid path, and each can lead to fulfillment and closeness to Allah if lived with faith. The one who marries early has blessings, the one who marries late has blessings, and the one who remains single has blessings too. Allah does not make mistakes with your story. He is the author of it, and He knows exactly when to introduce new characters and when to let you walk chapters alone. When whispers of doubt enter your heart, remind yourself of the countless examples of people who found their true purpose in seasons of solitude. Think of the prophets who often spent time alone in reflection before receiving revelation. Think of the scholars who dedicated years of their lives to study away from the distractions of worldly ties. Think of those who found strength in worship because their hearts were not divided. Your season of singleness is not meaningless. It is a chapter rich with lessons, if only you choose to see it that way. Instead of dreading your current state, embrace it as a divine opportunity. Ask yourself, how can I serve Allah better with this time? How can I serve humanity better with this freedom? How can I serve myself better with this focus? Shift your perspective and you will see that what you once saw as emptiness is actually abundance. You have abundance of time, abundance of possibility, abundance of chances to grow closer to Allah without distraction. That is a treasure many married people long for. Because once responsibilities pile up, the freedom to focus solely on yourself becomes limited. There is also wisdom in learning contentment. If you cannot be content now, being married will not suddenly make you content. Contentment is a skill, a state of heart that you must cultivate with gratitude, with perspective, with faith. And what better time to learn it than now, when you are free from the complexities of another person's demands. Learn to find joy in your own company. Learn to smile at the small blessings around you. Learn to appreciate the silence, the freedom, the ability to make decisions independently. These lessons will serve you not just now, but for the rest of your life. When people ask you why you are still single, do not feel embarrassed or ashamed. Hold your head high and remember that your life is in the hands of Allah, not in the opinions of others. People will always have something to say, but they do not know the unseen. They do not know what Allah is protecting you from. They do not know what He is preparing you for. Their words do not shape your future, and their expectations do not change your destiny. What matters is your connection with Allah and your trust in His timing. Perhaps you are being kept single because Allah wants you to rise spiritually before you rise socially. Perhaps He wants you to learn reliance on Him so that when someone comes into your life, they do not become your idol. They do not replace Him in your heart. Perhaps He wants you to experience His love in its purest form, untainted by the love of creation, so that when you finally do love another, you love them for His sake and not merely for your own desires. The beauty of life lies in realizing that every stage has its own purpose. Childhood teaches innocence. Youth teaches energy. Adulthood teaches responsibility. Old age teaches wisdom. And singleness teaches patience, self-awareness, and reliance on Allah. If you master this stage, you will carry those qualities into every other stage of life, making you stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled. This is why staying single for however long Allah wills is not just something nang to endure. It is something to cherish, something to honor, something to embrace as a unique gift from your Lord.